Call the meeting to start here. You guys do the Pledge of Allegiance with me, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, okay, roll call.
Yes. Mr. Bassett.
Here.
Mr. Fensky.
Here.
Mr. Richards.
Here.
And Mr. Huck.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, first order of business would be to approve minutes from the last meeting, May of 2022. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion to approve, was that?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, cool. So we'll move into the public hearing. We'll start with VA 2222. If the petitioner would like to come up and present.
Hi, good evening. I'm Christopher Cox on behalf of Cox & Shepherd. We're home builders based out of Carmel, Indiana. Been building for about 25 years. We're here on behalf of our customers, Adam and Emily Stone, petitioning for variance on 15924 East 126th Street. So here's the current site conditions. The shed has since been removed, but you can see where we have gravel laid and graded. That's been like that for years. Move on. This is our proposed site plan for a pole barn, approximately 28 foot by 28 foot. It's on the northwest side of the property there. Reason we're seeking a variance is first and foremost, and I'll show you visuals here in a second, but the current septic drainage trenches are approximately 7 foot to the east of the proposed structure. The setback that we're proposing is we're willing, and due to new site conditions, we can move it up to 13 foot, but any further encroachment east of the pole barn is going to start pushing us towards the septic fingers. And it's just not something we can really afford to do. We also have in that area, we already have gravel there. It's been there for years. It's been graded. The drive heads right into where our overhead door is proposed on going. And furthermore, the neighborhood HOA has already has an agreement with each other that they've all signed on to, saying that they're willing to let each other build within 10 foot of the property line. So I'll go ahead and just show you visual. So you can see there, that's a aerial view. Obviously, some of it's unseen, but that just gives you a visual representation of where that septic field is, that septic fingers are going. So we just can't push it much further to the east. And then there's document, and I'm happy to provide you with any of this, of the HOA, everyone agreeing to build within 10 foot of the property line. So, any questions?
Not this time. All
right.
We'll circle back to that.
Great, thank you.
If we have any. So next, we'll open up for public hearing. If anybody wants to come up and speak on the matter, just come up. You have 2 minutes and state your name and address for the record. All right, seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Staff, would you guys like to give your report?
Well, good evening. My name is Tyler Folk. I'm a city planner here at the City of Fishers, here to give the findings of fact on VA 22-22, stone accessory structure setback, located at 15924 East 126th Street. The petitioner is Christopher Cox on behalf of Adam and Emily Stone, the homeowners. The specific request is a consideration of a development standards variance to allow a 784 square foot accessory structure that is 18 feet tall to be set back 10 feet from the property line. Would be require a variance from section 6.2.c of the city's Unified Development Ordinance, which states that any accessory structure over 600 square feet shall have a setback of at least equal distance as the height of the building, if that distance is greater than the minimum side and rear setback required per the zoning district. So in this case, because it is an 18-foot tall accessory structure, per the UDO, it would be required to be 18 feet off of the side property line. So the current zoning on the site is R2 and is located between Cynthia Ann Road and Atlantic Road in the Hillcrest Farms neighborhood, just south of the Britton Falls neighborhood there, highlighted in red. Existing conditions on the site is a single-family residential home. These images on the right, Chris already showed those to us. The shed in those pictures is no longer on site. That gravel pad is where they would like to build their accessory structure. Here we see the site plan that was submitted to the city. As you can see there, here they're proposing a 10-foot side setback. The rear setback, it does not encroach in the drainage easement, so no concern there. No concern on the other side setback, which is 147 feet from the other side property line. There's no concern on the front setback or with impervious surface coverage. Public comments. A public comment in opposition to this petition was received by staff via the form stack. The public comment has been included with the staff report. And I also received an inquiry concerning this petition. However, they did not state opposition or support. They just had some questions. So, staff has no recommendation for the board for a variance from accessory structure standards to allow for a 784 square foot accessory structure that is 18 feet tall to be set back 10 feet from the property line. Staff feels that the project will not negatively affect the surrounding area, cause a decrease in net assessed value, or be detrimental to the health and safety of others. Should the board approve this petition, staff recommends it is done with the following conditions. First, that the variance is recorded on the property with the county, and second, that the property owners complete a waiver of remonstration of annexation agreement and have it recorded on the property with the county as well. Any questions?
Is there any questions? Nope, thanks. Did the board have any, you guys have any discussion?
Seems like there's a pretty substantial tree line that would come from any adjacent neighbors to the north there, right?
Yeah. I would think the HOA is the main issue, right? And I would worry about.
I mean, I'd make a motion to approve the variance VA 22-22.
Okay, I would second that. Can we take a vote?
Mr. Bassett?
Yes.
Mr. Fenske?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
And Mr. Huck?
Yes.
Cool. Congratulations on that. We'll move on to VA 2223. Petitioner, go ahead and introduce himself.
Good evening. My name is Troy Taru of True North. I'm representing the Daltons today on a variance for lot coverage, for impervious coverage on the lot. 35% is the maximum, and we're asking for, I believe, 42%. This is to build a outdoor living to go along with a pool that is proposed. The pool itself is not subject to the variance. The pools are not considered to be impervious surface in the city of Fishers. Here we go. Nope. Trying to find. Is it, yeah. Where would I find our lot itself? I apologize.
No, that's okay.
Oh, I'm almost there, I think.
Yes, it will be in like 10 more. There you go.
I apologize.
So then you'll just get back.
Here is the proposed project. We're looking for actually 41.7. I rounded up to 42 for any extra incidental concrete. I advise my clients to do the right thing to when they have a project like this to go for a variance to make sure that they do this correctly and properly. And there's a reason for that, and I'll explain. We have, while this variance itself is fairly straightforward, we have had some opposition from the HOA, and I would like to address those comments that were provided in a letter to us. One of them is precedent. There's a concern that we're going to set a precedent by having this variance approved. However, this is not the first variance in this subdivision. In fact, I've done 2 others. Variances in the subdivision approved, VA 1918. with 42% coverage for a proposed pool in the rear yard. And then VA 1923, 16324 Hunting Meadow Drive, for, I believe that was 40%. That particular house happens to be our rear neighbor. These houses directly back up to each other. And then we have other projects in the neighborhood that did not get variances. And I said about doing the right thing. You can get a pool permit relatively easily in Fishers if you follow the correct steps. But if you don't have to show all the patio you're planning on building. You can actually do that after the fact. City of Fishers does not require permits for patios. There are a couple properties in Flat Fork that did not get variances, but they exceed the 35% lot coverage. 16169 Portage Trail Lane. You can see the extremely large patio. The pool is outlined there, but you can see the large patio there, which pushed them to 40% lot coverage on their property. And then 16217 Portage Trail Drive also built some large outdoor living area fire pit. In fact, the fire pit's over the tree conservation easement, but that's a different issue for a different day. And they were at 39% lot coverage. That particular property is interesting because that's the HOA president's personal house that he built that patio.
Duly noted.
It's rotated, so I apologize for not being due north-south. North is to the left on the page. The property in purple is the lot that we're building on. The purple is the surface area that it actually affects drainage on. There is a beehive inlet at the northeast corner of our property. There is a beehive inlet. There's a beehive, and I've circled it in blue here, the lot that we're building on. There's a beehive inlet at the northeast corner, and then there's a beehive inlet on the northwest corner of the west adjoiner. The area that we affect or impact surface drainage on is relatively small for a subdivision. The overall, if you want to consider this to be a block of lots, an island of lots surrounded by streets, the current overall lot coverage of all the lots combined is under 30%. Asking for a 5% or 5 to 7% overage in this lot will not negatively impact the drainage. Everything from there drains directly to the large pond you see directly to the west. And from there, it immediately drains to the southwest to a tributary of Flat Fork Creek. So doing the right thing is, I told them to go for the variance. Instead of just trying to getting a pool permitted, getting it built, and then sneaking in a patio later that would put them over. This is the proper way of handling this kind of procedure. Hardship. Unfortunately, it's a hardship of not knowing other than what I tell them. You buy a property, members of the board here, you understand. You've seen it. The average person does not think of lot coverage as being a condition of their property. You think, I need to stay within the easements. I need to stay off the property lines. I need to know where my property lines are. I'll hire a surveyor. When you're preparing or designing an outdoor living to enjoy your backyard, you don't think lot coverage is going to come back and bite you. And so that's the hardship, just an unknowing, unfortunately. But it's not precedent. There are several lots that had variances. There are several lots that should have variances that already exceed the lot coverage. Are there any questions from the board?
The 7% that it's over, what does that translate to in square footage?
Let's see. Give me a second here. I apologize. I have it written on there.
I don't remember seeing it was like 500 square feet or 600 square feet.
So 16,700 square feet. So every percent is 167 square feet. So times 7. Even if you went 200, looking at about 1,200 square feet total. Rough math. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you may, the homeowner and the installer have also agreed to put in pervious pavers. while the city of Fishers does not recognize the benefit of pervious pavers, is again a sign of trying to do the right thing. Pervious pavers help soak up water. City of Fishers Engineering, Jason Moore, has recognized it as being a benefit of 25% less impact than just a concrete patio.
Okay. You guys have any questions for petitioner? Okay, cool, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll let you know if we have any future questions here. All right, so we'll go to the public hearing, and if anybody wants to come up and speak on this matter, just to address the board with your name and address first. You have 2 minutes.
My name's Alex Simelton. I'm at 116307 Springbank Court in the neighborhood that my neighbors are trying to put that pool in. So I'll be completely honest. That pool and what they're trying to do is not going to hurt the look. It's not going to hurt anything that's in that actual area there. This is more based upon a power trip of an HOA of what we have now. And there's numerous talks of things that have been going on, whether it's on Facebook, social media, text messages amongst each other, of where the HOA individual who does not want them to have this pool, who's not here today, doesn't want. So I just want to make it clear that we have a substantial amount of people who approve what's trying to go on with their pool. They want to live their lives. And it's not like they're going out there with a pink RV, doing anything like that in their yard. They're going to make the yard nice, and it's going to look good. It's not going to bring any property value down or anything like that. This is generally a case of somebody just trying to flex some power here. I just really want that to be known.
Cool, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Jack Connor, 16338 Portage Trail Lane. My wife Avery and I are the direct neighbors to the east of the Daltons. Just wanted to, even though I did enter a public comment, wanted to be here and reiterate that the letter in opposition sent by our HOA president did not speak for a community, and there are a lot of people that really do support this project as well as my wife and I. So thank you guys.
Cool. Thanks.
I'm Casey Johnston, 11035 Portage Woods Drive. He actually stole what I was going to say, that the HOA president sent that letter to the board stating on behalf of our entire community we oppose this, and that it is by far not the truth. So just wanted to state that.
Okay.
Hello, Jamie Brown. I live at 16297 Hunting Meadow Drive, so it's kind of catty corner to their lot. Just want to say I'm fully supportive, my family is, of the improvements. I will say we recently had a pool and patio installed in our area. We received unnecessary questions pushed back from our HOA as well. This is a new HOA, so I think it's important to mention it just got turned over. So I think they're trying to, I don't know why, flex their muscles when we're just starting to have this this turned over to the community. So it's been very frustrating. I will say we were able to successfully move forward with our process, but we know the neighbors all, because we're backed up to this particular area, we're all in support of this and have no concerns. We also had the same pool installer and developer, and they're very conscientious about water drainage, and everything has worked out really, really well. So we have no concerns. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else? Okay, I'll close the public hearing and then move to staff.
All right, good evening. My name is Sydney Granlin. I'll be giving the staff presentation on VA 2223 tonight for Dalton impervious coverage variance. The property is located at 16324 Portage Trail Lane in the Ridge at Flat Fork neighborhood, located north of Connecticut Avenue and west of Southeastern Parkway. It is currently zoned Vermilion PUD. The petitioner is Troy Theroux on behalf of the homeowners, the Daltons. As mentioned, they are proposing a pool in the backyard and an associated patio space that would result in the lot's impervious coverage being 41.7%. The maximum impervious lot coverage in the Vermilion area is 35%, and this request is for 42% coverage. The site is currently single-family residential, and the red lines on this screen represent the topography, with the sort of purpley colored lines representing the storm infrastructure. The arrows show that the runoff from the backyard where the pool is proposed will travel to a storm drain near the rear property line. then through the storm pipes to a detention pond to the northwest of the property. Jason Armour, the city stormwater engineer, also looked at this proposal and stated that the extra runoff from this increase in impervious surface would likely not create any major problems since there are not many individuals going above the 35% threshold in this area. He confirmed that the drainage system should be able to handle the increased amount of impervious surface on this lot. Here is the proposed site plan with the pool and patio space highlighted in gray. Several public comments have been received regarding this variance, including one letter of opposition from the Flat Fork HOA, another letter of opposition from another Flat Fork resident, and then a total of, I think I ended with 14 letters of support from Flat Fork residents. The HOA and another individual opposed this variance due to drainage concerns, the claim that the homeowners agreed to the neighborhood's regulations, including the 35% impervious coverage when they bought the lot, and the claim that the homeowners could choose to reduce the impervious area associated with the pool to be in compliance with that 35% maximum. Most of the letters of support simply state that they support the variance and the project altogether, and a lot of the letters also emphasize, as the public comments did tonight, that the HOA does not speak on their behalf. Staff has no recommendation for the board of a variance from the Vermilion PUD development standards to allow impervious coverage to be 42%. Should the board approve this petition, staff recommends it is done with the condition that the variance is recorded on the property with the county. Thank you.
You guys have any questions? Or I think for me, knowing that those beehive drains, I know from having one put near my property that drained half of the pond on my property, I think those are pretty powerful drains, and hearing Jason signed off on it makes me feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I've not seen such a positive response from so many adjacent neighbors for variances as this project.
Yeah, I was nervous with all the emails coming in that there was going to be 400 people here.
Yeah.
It was going to be a heated debate, but I think it's pretty common to see this for someone putting a pool in, and I don't have any other questions. I'd make a motion to approve VA 2223 with the stipulations put out by staff. Do you have a second?
I second that.
Mr. Bassett?
Yes.
Mr. Fenske?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
And Mr. Huck?
Yes.
Cool. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have fun at your future HOA meetings. They sound they sound like they're going to be fun.
Thank you all for your time.
Yeah. Yeah, enjoy the pool.
Sounds like a recall vote coming down the pipe there, right?
I know. I think all the neighbors are too. What'd you say, Rich?
It just sounds like a recall vote.
They had mail-in votes due to COVID. All right, so do we have any old or new business?
I just wanted to, I think you all should have received the calendar invite. November's meeting has already been canceled, so we will not have a meeting in November. If we do meet in December, I'm not sure if we will yet, it will be probably moved up a week due to the holidays.
Okay.
So just be aware of that date if you see that calendar.
Okay. Any staff communications? We'll have stuff to sign, I guess, here.
Well, I'll send it out to you tomorrow. I get it from.
Sounds good. All right, adjourn the meeting.